Hello, this is Pixie doing another video, little drive along. So I've only had 4 eggs, and that was about 26 hours ago. So I think I'm due to eat something. I'm going to have 4 eggs, but I'll probably chuck a ready meal in there. It's still going to bring me below into deficit. That's what I'm trying to work with. A slight bit of deficit, and that will at least look to calorie reduction, look to expand on the autophagy, or they say autophagy as well. That's the other thing. I think I'm having like a neurotophagy. The brain is, I can feel, you get, what happens is kind of like the alert signals in your brain. So you start drawing on different resources. I think the brain's doing some recycling and some stuff. So there was a little bit of an ache in your head, but had after a coffee, after a black coffee or a tea, it tends to reside a bit, that kind of thing. Your liver function, I think, does something else when you've got fluids in it. There is a slight amount of calories in it, but a minute amount, and it's not going to be a load of sugars. Sugars will really throw you out though. If you have a lot of sugars, you will probably get lots of hunger. I'll call them hunger strikes. This is interesting. Brain's coming up with stuff, as in like lightning strikes. So you get hit by a load of things that you think, oh blimey, I need to have. But most people think of strike as a kind of minus. So a hunger hits maybe in your body's like, well, I need to eat something. I need some fats to go with all this sugar you've had and all these other things. And so, well, we need to put in all these different sugars. So I don't really know why the brain does that. Because sugar alone is just like a drug, I guess. So it wants you to store fats as well. Or maybe it's unsure, it just wants you to cover both bases and have sugars and fats and stuff going on. So it's hard, but it's got results though. I just keep whacking away at it and see what happens really. And that'll be good. So I keep pushing it forward. People are quite interested though when they hear about it, because often a lot of people think about doing fasting, but they don't actually do fasting, or they haven't got. They don't realise how much work has to go into it. So sugar addiction lasts for ages, and once you've got it moderated and controlled, it's a bit like alcohol. If you have to go out and drink alcohol every time you go out, then there's some kind of connection there, addiction. You're associating with socialising and drink. So it's habitual behaviour around an intake of something. And we all develop habits and behaviour patterns. We all have compulsive behaviour, obsessive behaviour. I sometimes notice as well with some of the brain function and fasting is I might find it more difficult to grasp certain words. Now, it's either but brain fog. So the brain's trying to draw all resources from itself. It's looking at that, and then it wants to replenish certain things. So it's aware of faults. So as faults develop, it tries to fix it by putting stem cells in there, rejuvenating connections and stuff like that. I'll have to have a good look at that. What is the big picture behind that? You know, is it because we're designed, we've got a pretty good healing function as well. So we designed so if we get injured we heal, and maybe I've been in a battle with something and but I've basically been knocked out and comatose, and so my brains would go through this process of regeneration in order to get functional. Because when you're injured or ill or something wounded, you're more like a head wound. So it's not an uncommon thing, because that's why the brain, the opposite side of the body is wired up. So if you take a hit to the right, your right side isn't compromised, it's your left side. And I think this is why boxers do this certain combos, because you hit a different place of your body responds, and when it responds, your attention goes to that area of pain. So you're thinking of this wounded area, and you, in that process, in that so many split seconds, you opened up another point in your body that's vulnerable to strikes. Yet again, the word strike, as not as a negative as hitting, so as a positive, or well, negative to the person, I guess. So, so that's an interesting. Deeper research into the yoga. I think yogic transmission seems to be a bit more of an interesting area. So as it develops, so when you go in, I mean, I do this meditation, so when you go in, do aware of your consciousness, aware of your body, you let your mind get on with the business, you direct it a little bit with what you want. It's a vehicle, like I'm driving a vehicle now. I'm not making the engine go round, but I am controlling the pedal, so I'm influencing the outcome of what's going on there, and directing it. However, I'm just flowing as well, so my mind's not overthinking the distance I'm travelling and directions, looking out for hazards, like there's a hazard emerging in front of me there, and they're looking at me, so that's good. And just that kind of flow, see, so it's a bit like your thoughts. You acknowledge hazardous thoughts, or you acknowledge feelings and stuff, and then you just sort of let the mind tune in or tune out. I had a thing where I found with yoga, the meditation is that my mind started becoming cloudy, like a sky. I guess the sky's blue, and I thought to myself, is it because I haven't meditated for a bit? And it's tuning into your heart. You can sense where your heart, sense where your head is, and then these thoughts start to de-escalate, because it's kind of like having something on your shoulder. You know, it's like conscience that's telling you this and telling you that, and making you try to think this is how the other person thinks and stuff. And you're over-analysing. That's what I'm doing. I'm over-analysing. I'm believing that I'm having telepathic conversations with people. That's almost what's going on. And to some level, it's probably true. In spirit, I might be, but the body is what's going to decide it, and you need to have actually the physical effect of physical engagement, not the precursor of an interdimensional engagement with someone. Because all you've done is you've set your intention into motion, and it gives possible outcomes. But in order to create the outcome, you've got to invest some what we call physical energy, maybe. I guess it's hard energy, really. It's kind of that denser frequency sort of stuff. And that's really how to work forward, I guess. And yogic transmission, so my understanding is that kind of resonance connection, but when you're aware of your own heart, you can actually touch other people's hearts. So you can generate a relationship based on your synchronicity, I guess, at some levels. I should be doing this way. And you can connect with other things around you. So that's what I was doing. Once somebody's acknowledged it, and I'll tell you what, once your heart's open, your mind's open, people are more friendly, people are connecting to your energy. But once you're aware of that, someone just like smiling, give you a lot of attention or interest, or have open body language, all these sorts of things, then you can use that. There we go. And then you can use that connection, not to exploit them, but you could at least, you'll feel calmer communicating, and so will they, because you're connecting with them at an energetic level, really, which helps. Anyway, this is Peter signing off, and speak to you next video.